the USWA Broadcast Center, Michael St. John with you, and it's good to have you here. Boy, do we have some big news. Big news out of Dallas, Texas, and some events that occurred last night at the Sportatorium. We'll tell you more about that in just a few moments. Also on the card, you'll see the Southern Rockers. The big battle between Jerry the King Lawler that is brewing against Chris Champion, and the dirty work that Jerry has done and the injury that Jerry has caused to Chris Champion in the recent weeks. We'll update you on that. That and a whole lot more. Big news out of the Sportatorium in Dallas. First, let's take this break. We'll be back with that news and much more on the USWA Wrestling Network. Last night at the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas, Jeff Jarrett scheduled to wrestle Jerry the King Lawler for the World Unified Heavyweight Championship. On his way to the ring, Jarrett was attacked by Jeff Gaylord. We don't know if this attack was provoked by Jerry the King Lawler, if he orchestrated it, or if this was a feeble attempt by the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord, to get a shot at Jerry Lawler's belt. Whatever the case, Jeff Jarrett, injured, was unable to compete for the World Unified Heavyweight Championship belt. Fans, we want you to take a look at it. You be the judge as to what caused this dastardly event.
Heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler, dressed in his black and white with the crowns down the side of his breeches and the beautiful world belt around his waist, ready for this world heavyweight title bout with Jeff Jarrett.
Come on, boy!
All right, with Jerry Lawler already in the ring, it's time for Jeff Jarrett, the challenger for this important world heavyweight title bout, to arrive. And he is hugged and cheered for. A great chance for Jeff Jarrett. You know, since now the noise you're hearing is Jerry Lawler over the house microphone, I'm going to go ahead and talk over this. Anyway, since coming to the USWA, Jeff Jarrett has had an incredible one-loss record. Has come in here and just dazzled and impressed USWA fans in San Antonio, Dallas, Lawton, Oklahoma, Memphis, Tennessee, Evansville, Indianapolis, all of the great towns of the USWA, New Orleans in the area. And wait a minute! It's Jeff Gaylord. Where did he come from? I didn't even see him coming down the aisle. I just looked up from the monitor, and it's Jeff Gaylord, and it's a pile driver on Jeff Jarrett on the floor. Dandor Akbar. Gaylord saying something. I can't quite make out what he's saying. Did he say to Lawler that I want a shot at you now, or did he say I just did the job for you? I'm stunned. I didn't even see Gaylord coming. Here comes help for Jeff Jarrett. He got beat up quickly, and then a pile driver on the floor. I couldn't make out what Gaylord said to Lawler. Did he say, Dundee, I did the job, or now I want some of you?
Ring if you can. He's all right.
Either way, okay. Jarrett in terrible shape. Lawler running his mouth saying he's...
Get him up here. Stop.
Okay, but he's obviously not.
Ring the bell, Mark. Let's get this thing going.
And Lawler making a bad situation worse with his mouth.
On,
folks, I apologize. I should have seen Gaylord coming, but I didn't see him come down into the aisles or anything.
Hey, come on, referee.
And
Am I going to come out there and
Jarrett in terrible condition.
How could that hurt him?
Bill Dundee here. Jimmy Jack Buck was here but left. And now John Brazil, one of the officials, coming down. Bronco Lilic, the referee. They've got a stretcher. And evidently Jeff Jarrett has taken a pretty bad blow to the head.
Jeff Jarrett is standing by this morning in Dallas, Texas. We will be going to Jeff to get his response and his reaction as to what happened last night, right after these messages. It's USWA Championship Wrestling on tour Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. 6 great matches on the card, including Loose Falcone against Rockin Randi. You'll see Mike Sampson to battle Ben Jordan. The Southern Heavyweight Championship on the line Superstar Bill Dundee defends the gold belt against Sweet Daddy Falcone with his manager, Dirty Deeds Darren Wise. In action, the Southern Rockers battle the Dirty White Boys with their manager, Ronnie P. Gossett. Then, the grudge match of the decade. Jeff Jarrett takes on the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord. And the main event, Mean Mike Awesome battles Jerry the King Lawler. All this action Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. Don't miss wrestling action on Thursday, April 5th in Lanesville, Indiana at the high school. And the USWA comes to Marengo, Indiana, Crawford County High School on Thursday, April 19th. And don't miss the action at the Evansville Coliseum. 6 great matches Wednesday night.
Woo, Dirty Deeds, you think you got the biggest, baddest dude in the world. Sweet Daddy Falcone, come from New York City. What did you say it is? Named it twice because the city's so nice. Well, New York may be great, but that big brute you got ain't. And if you're trying to get my attention, son, you've already got it. You don't have to sneak up behind Bill Dundee and hit him alongside the back of the head or whatever you got to do. Just go to USWA title committee and ask for a title shot. I'll be glad to put it on the line, brother. Now, little Dirty Deeds, let me tell you something, punk. There's been an awful lot of you kind through here going to do what they weren't going to do to build Superstar Dundee. You shouldn't even be in the wrestling business. I hate wrestling, man, just because all you are is leeches. You ain't big enough to get in the ring yourself, so you go ahead and hire some big dude to do your dirty work for you. Well, if you really think that he's going to take out Bill Superstar Dundee, you're wrong, brother, because there's an awful lot of people come through here saying the same thing as you are. Oh, that punk from Australia, he's just a little fella. I haven't made no bones about that, brother. 5'7", 205 pounds will take you a Sweet Daddy Falcone out.
This is Jeff Jarrett moving down the aisle, all dressed up and looking great. Jeff, I understand that you've been prevented from wrestling now from the doctor due to the blow to the head, and you're going to have to take some time off.
Well, Mark, you're right about one thing. I am here this morning. I went to the doctor last night. I had a slight concussion. He told me to take a week off, but I don't want to do that. I can't afford to do that. But I am here today, and if I see Jeff Gaylord, I'm going to get him. Because Gaylord, you cost me. You cost me dearly. Because I had my one shot, and I don't know when I'll ever get another world title shot. I'll get one day, but I don't know when. I'm not the Texas champion. I'm not the Southern heavyweight champion. I don't hold any belts. So I don't know when I'll get my next world title shot. But Gaylord, I'm going to get one. But first things first. Gaylord, when I see you, I'm going to get you because when I hear your name, it just makes me sick to my stomach. Because Gaylord, like I said, I grew up watching wrestling. I grew up watching Jerry Lawler. I grew up watching the world heavyweight champion. And from the day I could walk all the way up, that's all I thought about, was becoming the world heavyweight champion. Yeah, you, Gaylord, come on down here.
Well, wait a minute. Skandor Akbar has got Jeff Gaylord. Let's not have any of this, please. What do you mean, no problem? Your problem just being here.
No trouble. All we want to do is talk. We don't want any fighting. We want no trouble. Now, Jarrett, I don't want any problems. No problems.
I don't even want to see you.
No problems. No problems.
I don't want to see you. It's you, Gaylord. Here's a message.
Jarrett all over Gaylord on the floor. Jarrett on top of Gaylord getting paybacks for the world mess. Wait a minute, Akbar. Wait a minute, Akbar. Akbar's trying to pull Jarrett off and is ripping his breeches off of him. Akbar interfering in what Jeff was trying to take care of. But Jarrett is still at it. What a mess. They're fighting all the way up the aisle. Akbar still Steele trying to pull Jeff back by using his britches, and all he's done is pull his britches off. And Jarrett is not about to slow down, fighting all the way up the aisle. And they've disappeared back that way. I don't know exactly. I guess we better stop and try to get order restored. I don't know what's going on, Bob.
A little bit later on this USWA wrestling program, we have Jeff Gaylord scheduled to wrestle in Dallas, Texas. Hopefully at that time we can get some comments and hopefully an explanation as to what transpired last night at the Sportatorium in Dallas. Now on another front, Nathaniel Whitlock, once known as Nate the Rat, and Jerry the King Lawler have crossed paths before. Now Nathaniel Whitlock has found a man, and a man he is. He calls himself Mike Awesome, to hopefully take the crown away from Jerry the King Lawler. We have a taped interview with this outstanding newcomer, Mike Awesome. Let's go to it right now.
Jerry Lawler, I want you real bad. I want you real bad. And as you can see, I ain't no pencil neck geek. And when I wrestle you, I'm going to beat you up real bad. And then I'm going to pin you in the middle of the ring for the 1, 2, 3. And my main man here, Nate the Rat, yeah, he's going to take this pie. Yeah, and I'm going to hold you. And he's going to shove this pie right down your throat. And you know something? There's nothing you or anyone else can do about it.
Now, wrestling fans, that is one impressive-looking individual, Mike Awesome. Now, there's a name that matches this man's stature. Here's a guy that's built like an oak tree. He moves like a middleweight, and I think finally Jerry the King Lawler has met his match, the young, outstanding star Mike Awesome. In fact, we have a taped match from Memphis, Tennessee, of Mike Awesome in action. Let's take a close look at it and watch how quickly this big man moves.
Nathaniel Whitlock's not leading him at all. Mike Awesome comes roaring into the ring and nails Benny Traylor at the opening bell. Traylor, oh, high in the air, dumped over the shoulder. Mike Awesome. Boy, first look at him, and I'm impressed. A couple of knee lifts. Benny Traylor fired into the ropes. Awesome. Slams him. One. Oh, gets a 1 count, and that's all off the power slam. But Mike Awesome again trying to hold on to the control that he seized early in the match. A suplex. Traylor bounces on the mat. Awesome quickly on his feet. Big forearm across the back. Just hammering him down to the mat. Benny Traylor not able to get much of an offense going here as Awesome jumped him from the beginning and has kept him going all the way so far. 1, 2, 3. My goodness gracious. I don't know what he calls that move right there, but it is awesome, no doubt about it. Mike Awesome.
Now, I think you'll agree with me. There's a man's name that matches his build. Mike Awesome. Totally awesome. We'll be going to Dallas, Texas. The Southern Rockers, the USWA World Tag Team Champions, are scheduled for action. But first, let's take this break on the USWA Broadcast Network. It's USWA Championship Wrestling on tour Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. 6 great matches on the card, including Loose Falcone against Rockin Randi. You'll see Mike Sampson to battle Ben Jordan. The Southern Heavyweight Championship on the line. Superstar Bill Dundee defends the gold belt against Sweet Daddy Falcone with his manager, Dirty Deeds Darren Wise. In action, the Southern Rockers battle the Dirty White Boys with their manager, Ronnie P. Gossett. Then, the grudge match of the decade. Jeff Jarrett takes on the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord. And the main event, Mean Mike Awesome battles Jerry the King Lawler. All this action Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. Don't miss wrestling action on Thursday, April 5th in Lanesville, Indiana at the high school. And the USWA comes to Marengo, Indiana, Crawford County High School on Thursday, April 19th. And don't miss the action at the Evansville Coliseum. 6 great matches Wednesday night.
Here's Rex King and Steve Dahl. All right, it's World Tag Team Champions here. The Southern Rockers, Rex King and Steve Dahl. Dahl in the purple and black tights and King in the yellow and black, both wearing the zebra stripe ring jackets against Jimmy James, the Dog of War, in our first USWA bout here, coming to you from the Sportatorium. Tony Falk, the referee. We're ready to ring the bell and get the excitement going. Tag team champions of the USWA, the Southern Rockers. A very exciting and fast-paced team that has taken the USWA by storm. And it's the Dog of War, opens up against Rex King and backs him into the ropes. And the Dog of War wants the crowd to make noise. Dog of War grab, turns King back around in the corner, and Tony Falk will move over for the break. Over goes the Dog of War and Rex King. Scorers points for that. Well, we mentioned a couple of weeks ago that if you want to slow the Southern Rockers down, you've got to slow down the speed and their ability to tag one another with great regularity. I notice Skandor Akbar has arrived at ringside. Close call in the ring, but we're not through yet.
But really, Mark, I understand you're sick every day, so let's overlook this. What did you start to say? Mark, the Southern Rockers have made a tremendous impact on the USWA. I understand that. They are the champions. But, of course, last night, and I'm saying that speaking from an unbiased standpoint, they are very, very exceptional talent. But last night, there seemed to be some controversy on their tactical victory. So I should say Bronco Lubitsch and the officiating of USWA has certainly gotten out of hand. You see, there's this prejudice, this biased officiating against Devastation Incorporated. And you know yourself, Mark Lawrence, that actually they did not win that match last night. There was a tremendous distraction. Of course, they are an exceptional team. They have great footwork, you see, and making up for their lack of size, they've got that intestinal fortitude. Agreed. But you see, I will always say that Devastation still ranks as #1. Mark Lawrence.
Skandor Akbar, a surprise arrival here at ringside during the Southern Rockers event. And you're blaming my health condition for you being down here, is that correct?
What can I say, Mark? What can I say? I understand somebody had informed me that you were sick each and every day. Mark, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Look at a Dog of War. What a tough old buzzard Dog of War is. Yeah, he reminds me of one of those eagles that have been in these tremendous battles, and he just keeps fighting and hanging on. That's why they call him the Dog of War. Of course, Jimmy James, here's a young man that's trying to get a little experience in the squared circle. Now, I understand, correct me, this is Rex King in the squared circle at this moment. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely right.
Oh, yes. And his partner, Steve Dahl, seem to have a tremendous following here at the Sportatorium.
All right, Rex King now again will let Dahl slip in while the referee is distracted and Tony Falk is unaware whether the tag occurred or not.
That's teamwork. You see, as bad as I hate to say, once again, speaking from the unbiased standpoint, that's teamwork with Steve Dahl and Rex King tagging in and out. And that's the way you do it. You wear your opponent down. That's the science of wrestling. Of course, speaking of scientific wrestling, Devastation is still #1. Am I right or wrong, man?
Well, I'm going to be unbiased and not make a comment on that. I do understand that you've got some new tricks up your sleeve. Do you care to elaborate at this point?
You're taking the unbiased standpoint. Oh, that's fine. Tricks. Oh, well, that's what you Americans like to say, tricks, but Of course, you see, the general outlines all these battle plans strategically on down the line, and when we get in the squared circle with whomever, well, we're ready. We're ready for everything, Mark.
You're not giving me any specific details.
Oh, no, I can't just close that, Mark. That would
Why
be
not?
very bad. Well, I can't comment on that. Here's that dog of war. There's that tenacious bulldog effect that this dog of war has. He's a tough competitor. He's come a long way.
Jimmy James on Rex King as he picks King up, turns him over with a body slam.
Of course, I know Rex King and Steve Dawes are heavy favorites in this match. Am I right?
Oh, obviously, yes.
Well,
here's Jimmy James going to get pulled off that top turnbuckle.
well, here we go. You see, after the slam off the top rope, now the suplex. And they're working on that one particular position, the back. Jimmy James' back has to feel very, very bad at the time. That's a tremendous drop kick, Mark Lawrence. That is a tremendous drop kick.
Steve Dahl ready for the tag in his corner. In he'll come as the legal man. Boom, there's a shot on Jimmy James.
Things are happening this USWA. Everything's intensifying, Mark. Everything's intensified. I understand now that the man of the hour, Billy Joe Travis, is having some problems with Terry Von Erich. Am I right or wrong?
Well, that's absolutely right.
Has Terry found his way down here? Is Terry all right? Oh, I'm concerned. You know that, Mark. I am concerned.
Steve Dahl all over the dog of war. Now on James. Here comes King. All 4 men involved now. The throw. And James and the dog of war run right into each other.
You know, Mark, one other thing. I was surprised to see Dustin Rhodes back at the Sportatorium after that tremendous leg injury that was inflicted upon by gorgeous Gary Young. I was really, really surprised.
The double DDT from King and Dahl at the same time as DDT Jimmy James and the Southern Rockers, the winners of the bout.
Boy, fans, I hope you enjoyed that match with the Southern Rockers as much as I did. That is one fine tag team. They really move. The Southern Rockers, the USWA World Tag Team Champions. In our effort to bring you the wrestling action from all over, we want to get as much action into this hour as we possibly can. Bill Superstar Dundee is scheduled for action right now in Memphis, Tennessee. Take it away, Dave Brown. Let's catch the action with Superstar Billy.
Here comes the superstar, Bill Dundee, into the wrestling area right now, taking a moment to greet his fans on the way to the ring. He steps up for a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Jerry Calhoun, oh, Billy, over to speak to the crowd. I tell you what, the crowd we got so far today is having a great time. Yeah, Dundee there in his corner, no doubt about it. They're across the ring from him, but in Dundee's corner is a superstar, giving away size and weight, as he often does when he steps into a wrestling match. Goes against Rockin' Randi. Randi we've seen before, a young wrestler, but looks like maybe he has some potential. He's got his work cut out for him today, though, going against the tough Australian veteran. Dundee, boy, look at that. Grabs him coming off the ropes and just took him over the shoulder. There's a slam. Dundee has him covered, but Rockin' Randi, good move on his part. Give it to him as he puts the foot over the bottom rope. Referee's right there, calls for a break, and the action continues. Dundee took his legs out from under him, and Rockin' Randi is on the mat. Dundee, being the sportsman rather than taking the advantage, broke the advantage that he had. Now around behind. Old Nelson drops down, and there on the mat is Rockin' Randi. Shoulders down for a count of two, but Rockin' Randi kept rolling and got his shoulder up. Minute and a half into the action. Whoa, Rockin' Randi raked Dundee across the eyes. Comes back with a forearm as he's back on the ropes. Randi trying to take control of the match by using whatever tactics necessary, but didn't work out well. Dundee nailed him with a right fist. Round behind, sleeper position. Bill Dundee has Rockin' Randi. Down to the mat he goes. Referee will check on him, and it looks like maybe this one is over as Dundee has got that sleeper, and it looks like a pretty good one. We'll just await the signal from the referee, and I think that's about all it is. Here it is. This match is over. History in 2 minutes even as Bill Dundee gets the sleeper hold on Rockin' Randi. Now we'll wake him up.
Wrestling fans, I have been told that Jeff Gaylord is scheduled up next in Dallas, Texas, but first we need to get this commercial break in. Let's try to get this break in real quick so we won't miss a minute of what Jeff Gaylord has to say and see him in action in Dallas, Texas at the Sportatorium next. Let's take this break right now.
The bell rings, and Jeff Gaylord gets ready to open up against Ray Evans as Gaylord has returned after that incident involving Jeff Jarrett just a little bit earlier in our program, in which Jeff fought all the way up the aisle with Skander Akbar trying to pull Jarrett off of him. And Ray Evans is taken into a half Nelson and thrown back down and all the way across the ring. Gaylord, on his way out here, got on the house microphone and had some smart aleck comments for Jeff Jarrett, as Skander Akbar's personality is rubbing off on his Missouri Tiger acquisition. Akbar loving every bit of it.
Do you believe Jeff Jarrett? You see, right now he's getting just a little touch, just a little sample of what devastation's all about. You see, Jeff Jarrett, you were humiliated. And you know in your own demented mind that Jeff Gaylord is no match for Jeff Jarrett. Now let's get the Jeff straight. The real Jeff is the Missouri Tiger, make no mistake about it. When I'm finished with the Tiger, he's going to own all the gold in the USWA. Jeff Jarrett, it's just beginning with you, boy. Just beginning.
Skander Akbar making promises about Jeff Gaylord and his future. Here comes Jeff Jarrett. Looks like Jeff has come down and accepted Gaylord's invitation, having to borrow some clothing and shoes, but he can care less. He and Gaylord are into it just like they were on the floor a little bit earlier. When these guys get together in a bout inside the ring, wherever it may be, it's going to be Katie bar the door. They're in the aisle again. Gaylord and Jarrett in it. Gaylord's a big guy, but boy, Jeff Jarrett doesn't give a thing to him. What a mess. There they go. We'll take the camera down that way just as far as they go. Back down into the runway, fighting back around. And they're in it out there in the concession area, still into the walls. Bronco Lovitz trying to get it broken up.
Back at the USWA Broadcast Center, we did not get much of an explanation from Jeff Gaylord as to what was on his mind with his attack on Jeff Jarrett. But boy, did we ever hear from Jeff Jarrett. I don't think I've ever seen Jeff that intense. Personally, I don't think I'd like to tie up with Jeff Gaylord. I mean, this man, not only is he a Missouri Tiger, he looks like a tiger and could probably bite your head off. But I'll guarantee you this, Jeff Jarrett would not step back an inch from anybody, and he is as intense as I've ever seen him. And I am looking forward to seeing the confrontation between Jeff Gaylord and Jeff Jarrett in the ring. Wait a minute. Chris Champion's in Memphis? Wait a minute. Well, I've just been informed Chris Champion has shown up at the studio in Memphis, Tennessee to confront Jerry the King Lawler. Let's go to that right now.
So first of all, quit playing music when I'm out here talking.
Hey, that's why they're playing music. Here's Chris Champion.
Oh, boy.
Chris, on the crutches, still got the brace on the neck after not once, but twice you jump on him out here in the studio.
Look like one of Jerry's kids hobbling up here. Hey, Chris, let me just say something to you, first of all. Was anybody else hurt in that wreck? Can you speak? Or do you got, you got brain damage too, huh?
I came out here 2 weeks ago to give the people a doctor's report, and when you found out that a blow to my head will kill me, well, that's exactly what you did. You came out here and hit me in the head and just...
Oh, no, wait a minute. I did not hit you on your head because obviously if I had you'd be pushing up daisies right now, but you're not, are you?
Yeah.
So I didn't hit you. All I did was slap you. And I thought I'd teach you a little lesson. You would think that a person that had a neck brace on and out here on crutches would have more sense than to come out here and try to get in my face. Didn't the doctors tell you not to come around me anymore until they gave you a release? Didn't they tell you that?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, the doctors told me not to come up, not to show around wrestling until I had a doctor's excuse, my friend. That's right, Joe. Doctor told me don't show up until he had a doctor's excuse. I told you when I showed up, I told you, my friend, me and you were going to fight.
Oh, Chris. Champion with a little payback here for Lawler, who jumped him from behind and then got him again when he was hurt. And now Champion says he's got the doctor's release. Lawler rolled into the ring by Champion, got that other crutch, breaks it over his back. Lawler. Boy, DDT'd by Chris Champion. Lawler rolls out of the ring. Trying to get out. Champion after him with that, what's left of that crutch. And there goes Lawler. There's Champion. Champion. Boy. Chris?
I told you, Jay. I told you. When the doctors released me, it was going to be a fight. And that's what it's going to be. It ain't going to be no wrestling match. We ain't going to have no rules. We're going to fight Wild Thing style.
Oh, my goodness. I cannot believe what Chris Champion, he has gone wild in Memphis, Tennessee against Jerry the King Lawler. And I got to say, I'm glad to see Chris back. I'm glad to see him healthy. And Jerry the King Lawler got what was coming to him, I can assure you. For some of you wrestling fans that perhaps may not be up to date as to what has occurred in the past few weeks between Jerry the King Lawler and Chris Champion, let's go back a couple of weeks. Let's take a look at why Jerry the King Lawler and Chris Champion are involved in what they're involved in right now, as to the abuse that Chris Champion has suffered at the hands of Jerry the King Lawler, the injury that he has suffered, the missed time of wrestling. This should explain it all to you. Let's take a look at it.
Lawler here beating up Ben Jordan, and then Chris Champion came out simply to say, hey, Ben Jordan has nothing to do with this problem. Take it out on Jimmy Vallia. Don't take it out on this poor young wrestler here. DDTs him right here on the floor. Now Lawler picks up the belt.
Chris Champion, I don't think you're going to want to mess in my matches anymore. You hear me, punk? Huh?
Oh.
You hear me? You don't hear me,
Dropping it. Oh, come on. Eddie Marlin out to try to get this broken up. Lawler with a desk on top of Champion, and Lawler jumping up and down on it. The desk being torn apart here by Lawler. And Chris Champion underneath. Lawler took that half-full soft drink can and bounced it off his rib cage. Oh, come on. Champion tries to get to his feet, and Lawler drops that desktop on top of him. Eddie trying to help him out of here. Lawler still stalking around. Picks up part of the desk. That's our wrestling desk, the table that we've used, and Eddie Marlin gets the top of it over out of the Lawler. I wondered what he was doing. He propped that thing up on the bottom rope, and then he grabbed Chris Champion and rammed his head into it. Come on, Eddie is left, hopefully to get some more help here. Oh my goodness.
Now, the doctor also tell you that if you were to get hit on your head, it might be fatal. Is that what he said? Yeah. He says if he gets hit on his head, it might be fatal. Well, let me tell you something, Chris. You're safe, brother, because I certainly don't want the death of Chris Champion on my hand. But what you should keep in mind is you shouldn't come to a wrestling program where people are going to be hitting other people because you might get hit by accident. You might get hit some kind of way. Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I wouldn't want to hit you on top of your head with my fist, but how about if I slap your face like that?
Come on.
Huh?
For heaven's sake, haven't you done enough damage to the man?
How about if I slap your face like that? Huh?
Hey, can we get some help out here for Chris, please? Come on, Lawler. Chris Champion again being beaten up by Jerry Lawler. Chris was out here last week. He wasn't trying to pick a fight with Lawler. He was just trying to help some poor kid who Lawler was beaten up on. And as a result, he got that, Lawler trying to take the neck brace off of him. Chris Champion again. Being beaten up by Jerry Lawler, and he really can't defend himself too much after what Lawler's done to him. Here comes Jerry Calhoun. Yeah, stop that. Lawler trying to pile driver.
Jerry Lawler! Jerry Lawler! You pile drive that man, and you'll never wrestle in that ring again. I'll tell you that right now.
Fans, I hope you understand now why Chris Champion is a man possessed in his battle to do battle with Jerry the King Lawler. We're going to take this quick commercial break. We'll be back with more USWA action right after this. It's USWA Championship Wrestling on tour Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. 6 great matches on the card, including Loose Falcone against Rockin' Randi. You'll see Mike Sampson to battle Ben Jordan. The Southern Heavyweight Championship on the line. Superstar Bill Dundee defends the gold belt against Sweet Daddy Falcone with his manager Dirty Deeds Darren Wise. In action, the Southern Rockers battle the Dirty White Boys with their manager Ronnie P. Gossett. Then, the grudge match of the decade. Jeff Jarrett takes on the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord. And the main event, Mean Mike Awesome battles Jerry the King Lawler. All this action Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. Don't miss wrestling action on Thursday, April 5th in Lanesville, Indiana at the high school. And the USWA comes to Marengo, Indiana, Crawford County High School on Thursday, April 19th. And don't miss the action at the Evansville Coliseum. 6 great matches Wednesday night.
Jeff Gaylord. Yeah, you're big and bad, and you got muscles stacked on top of muscles. Yeah, you call yourself the Missouri Tiger. Well, pal, yeah, you made a mistake. Because as far as I'm concerned, Gaylord, you came down and you cost me the world title. You know, I've been around this sport my entire life. I've watched it my entire life, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. And there's another thing that I've always wanted to do, and that's to be the world heavyweight champion. And that Friday night in Dallas, I had my shot. I don't know if I was going to win. I don't know if I was going to lose or if it was going to be a draw. But I know one thing, Gaylord. You cost me my title shot. I don't hold any singles belts, any titles, or anything like that. So I don't know when I'm going to get my next title shot. But I know one thing. I asked for this match, Gaylord, and I've got it coming up this week. And Gaylord, brother, you're coming into my backyard. And I know one thing. I'm going to make you pay, Gaylord, and that's a promise.
Oh, boy, here they come. The Dirty White Boys and their manager, Ronnie P. Gossett IV.
You know, Dave Brown, I didn't come back over here to win friends and influence people. I could care less what you or these morons think. I came over here because I have brought the greatest tag team in professional wrestling, the Dirty White Boys. I want you to get a good look at this team because coming from me, that's a real compliment. We're here to win those USWA tag team titles. That's exactly what we're going to do. You bring on the Southern Rockers because to me, they're nothing but female impersonators. You can tell these idiots to quit calling me Porky. We're going to take those titles and we're going to put them out of business. You think the Titanic went down? You think Social Security retired a lot of people? You wait till you get a hold of my dirty white boys. Tell them, Tony.
That's it. You know, Dave Brown, everybody's probably wondering where I got this man. Well, I went to the swamps of Louisiana, and when I found him, he had an alligator under one arm and a rattlesnake under the other one. And I said, hey, man, you look mean and nasty. And he tried to hit me. He goes, I am mean and nasty. I said, well, how would you like to be a dirty white boy? And he told me, what'd you tell me, Bert? Told me it'd be great. So I took him up here in buck snort and stuck him in the camp. And he got real mean and raunchy. And now, when he was ready, when he was absolute ready, I brought him back. And you see right here, the new member of the Dirty White Boy, baby. The Raging Cajun, baby. And Southern Rockers, baby, you get ready, baby, because you're looking at the new USWA World Tag Team Champions.
And you can take that to the bank, moron.
Let's rock and roll, baby.
Well, you've got to go against the Southern Rockers before you're the World Tag Champion.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Eddie. Yeah. Randy, can I have that microphone, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. Wrestling fans, in addition to what you have already seen and been told today, I was just on the phone with promoter Eddie Marlin. Jerry the King Lawler will be wrestling Chris Champion in a special added match. Now, this is after Lawler is scheduled to wrestle Mike Awesome. He's going to have to get back in the ring and wrestle Chris Champion. And just talking to promoter Eddie Marlin, he mentioned the fact that he does not feel he's being unfair to Jerry the King Lawler. In the past, Lawler has requested, at times wrestled up to 3 men on a given night. Promoter Eddie Marlin had promised Chris Champion as soon as he had the doctor's release that he could wrestle, that he would get a match with Jerry Lawler. He is going to get that match with Jerry Lawler. It is an added match at the arena this week. So Lawler will wrestle Mike Awesome, then we'll get back in the ring and wrestle Chris Champion. That just changed. Promoter Eddie Marlin has made that change official, and that's what you'll have. Jerry the King Lawler will wrestle Mike Awesome, then we'll get back in the ring and wrestle Chris Champion. And boy, what a match that's going to be. I know this is out of the ordinary, but let's get back to Memphis, Tennessee. Hopefully we have not missed much of the action as the Dirty White Boys tag team action going on right now in Memphis, Tennessee. Let's go back to it.
Drove down to the mat with a broad arm, and now look at this. Tony Anthony, the Dirty White Boy. His new partner, Alec Porteau. Yeah, I'm watching this, Ronnie Gossett. They're an awesome team. I'll give you that. I can't argue with that at all. Oh, my goodness. Porteau just about took the top half off of T.D. Steele. A vicious knee lift. Now he takes him over there. That big boot of Tony Anthony in the corner. They make a tag. They're feeling good. They got things going their way. The boot to the rib cage by Tony Anthony, the original Dirty White Boy. Picks T.D. Steele up in the air. Slams him. And suddenly, it's turning into a long day for T.D. Steele. Oh, big forearm. I don't think he had the fist doubled. No, referee said it was okay. A little over 2 minutes gone in this 15-minute time limit match. Ronnie P. Gossett has put together quite a tag team here. Let me tell you, as he's got the manager's license current and managing the Dirty White Boys. And he has said they're looking for the World Tag Title. Look at this tag team. Oh, my goodness. That may be it. 1, 2, and the count of 3 falls. As the Dirty White Boys, Tony Anthony and Alec Porteau get themselves a victory here over T.D. Steele and Ben Jordan. So our first look at this team certainly is impressive as they get the victory.
Southern Rockers, get ready, baby! So we're time now!
Dave Brown, you haven't seen nothing yet, pal.
Wrestling fans, we've got to hurry along here. We're running short on time. Let's take this commercial message. We'll be back with more on the USWA Wrestling Network. Broadcast Center now. We've had so much action today. Let me recap The action coming to the arena this week you're going to see. The Southern Rockers tag team action, the USWA World Tag Team Champions in action against the Dirty White Boys, their manager Ronnie P. Gossett. Also, you'll see superstar Bill Dundee defend his Southern Heavyweight Championship against Sweet Daddy Falcone, and of course his manager Dirty Deeds Darren Wise. The confrontation between Jeff Gaylord and Jeff Jarrett will come to a head at the arena this week, and those two, goodness knows what's going to happen in that match. Then, Jerry the King Lawler will defend the Unified World Heavyweight Championship against Mike Awesome, a totally awesome individual, and come back and wrestle Wildside Chris Champion in an extra added attraction. All that coming up at the arena this week. Speaking of action, Sweet Daddy Falcone, the man that wants that Southern Heavyweight belt, against Bill Dundee this week. He is in action in a match in progress in Memphis, Tennessee. Let's catch that action right now.
Brian Lee simply backed away and left him there after he had him pinned back on the turnbuckles. Now, return as Sweet Daddy Falcone had Brian Lee backed into the corner, but he pulled back that right fist. He was blocked and did not get a chance to throw it at Brian Lee. Crowd really getting on Falcone a bit now. There's a perfect example Lawler's talked about before, but an example to him. I wish he were here to see it today. How the crowd gave some polite applause to Sweet Daddy Falcone and Dirty Deeds Darren Wise when they came out, but then they said, hey, we don't need you, fans. Well, they don't have him now. Whoa, Brian Lee was leaping into the air. Falcone was going by. Lee avoided a major league collision. But still, Falcone was able to get to it just a bit. Now, Dirty Deeds Darren Wise with some words of wisdom, no doubt, for Sweet Daddy Falcone as they confer out here on the ringside. Brian Lee got the upper hand, and Falcone wasted no time in getting out of the ring, heading for the manager. And the words of encouragement, as Dirty Deeds, I'm sure, said, you are doing fine. Just get back in there, and you are on your way. Is that what you told him?
Give me that Mike Charlie Brown. Now you're seeing the man, Sweet Daddy Falcone, 42nd Street, New York City, baby. Take a good look at him. Take a good look at him. What do you think? What do you think, Charlie?
I'm looking at him, and I'm seeing a wrestler who's got size, he's got weight, he's got a man.
And he's got Dirty Deeds Darren Wise, the best-looking man in all professional wrestling, right out here by his side. What do you think of that, Charlie Brown?
I'm not too happy to have you out here, as a matter of fact. I usually don't.
Well, if you shut your mouth long enough and so I can get a word in edgewise, maybe I can tell you a little more about the speed, the size, the agility of Sweet Daddy Falcone. Watch, he's going to beat this boy like he's never been beat before. He's going to whip him like a rented mule, so you just take that to the bank.
Well, we'll keep our eye on him, Dirty Deeds. You, oh, yeah. Here's one way you can get a victory when the manager interferes. Prime time, out of the ring, looking for Dirty Deeds Darren Wise. Wise was holding his foot back in the corner. Oh, Sweet Daddy Falcone drops off the ring apron and got the blindsided Brian Lee. Falcone fires him into the rope. Got him with a clothesline. Brian Lee tried to duck, but Falcone got him nonetheless. Now using the middle rope to choke him. And Darren Wise, Dirty Deeds, choking him from outside. Look at that. Referee had his back turned, trying to get Falcone away from him. And that's why I don't like seeing a manager like Dirty Deeds out here in the corner. There's a nice move. Brian Lee moves out of the corner, and Falcone ran right into the turnbuckles. Oh, the manager steps up on the ring apron, and Brian Lee nails him. Dirty Deeds Darren Wise is staggering around on the floor now. Look at this, it's prime time. Takes him down to the mat. A great kick of Brian Lee. Look out behind, Brian. Robert Fuller in. Well, that's going to end the official part of this match right here as Robert Fuller comes in. Brian Lee's going to be a disqualification winner. But now it's 3 against 1 in that ring. Falcone puts Brian Lee down to the mat. Dirty Deeds jumping up and down on him. Robert Fuller doing the same thing. 3 against 1. Prime time Brian Lee in trouble here as Fuller jumped him from behind. Here comes Bill Dundee to help out.
Sorry we've had to break away from the action in Memphis, Tennessee. This has been probably the most action-packed wrestling hour I have ever been associated with. Hope you've enjoyed the action as much as I have. We're out of time. We'll see you next week with USWA Championship Wrestling.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.